Hey everyone, it's Amanda Monica Arlumi, and we are here today incorporating strand bands with different chain techniques. This one is a chain technique where we incorporated rainbow looms with the chains, and there is actually a tutorial on our channel with how to do the rainbow loom bands and putting them onto the chains just like this. And then this is how it looks, adding on a single strand band onto the bottom. And then a little extra bling. This is another technique, and I love how it turns itself and makes a little like wave of color. I've used two single strand bands, different colors, a pink and an orange. And this is the like Rollo chain, not the single flat chains. So it's like the intertwine chain. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see right there where when one is flat, one is up and down. And that's how that one looked. And we just added a little key charm. And then this is the chain that a lot of loomers are used to seeing, the nice flat aluminum chain. And in the midst of this one, I weaved a nice braid of 3 different strand band colors in. And then I added a little charm that our dear friend AZMS Mom sent me. Look at the little owl. Everyone knows I love my owls. So these are the 3 that we'll be doing today. I hope you'll enjoy them. We wanted to start out, like we said on the last one, really simple, and then we knew that our friends and loomers would take it from there and they would build and just keep going. But we wanted to start fairly simple so that you get the basics. So we are going to start out with this middle one first, and go get your supplies and be right back. So to start out, I wanted to mention in the last video we talked about how we had this set of needles, and then we had the plastic needle from the Rainbow Loom Heirloom studio. And I used this one in the last one, and I'll use this one for the larger linked one. But for this one, I bought these at Hobby Lobby. I think it was like a couple bucks. And these ones, some of the outer ones are sharp, but this one in the middle, right here, there was 2 here. They are dull on the ends, and they have a really large eye. And this is the one that I am going to be using today. I mean, they're not sharp, and they are very safe, but if you are a younger child, you still need to make sure you get your parents' permission before using a needle like this, because you're still a young child and you could still do something that would not be appropriate. So what we need to do is we need to start. So I have just done gotten 1 color of a strand band. I'm using orange first, and I have just single knotted through the eye with the orange strand band. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this first loop, whatever your first loop is, and I'm going to double knot it, and that's just going to lock the color strand band in. So that we have the ability to then weave it or sew it, however you want to say it, doesn't matter, onto the chain to make the chain a little more festive. These chains remind me of some really cute bracelets I saw in a shop when Amanda and I went to Nashville that had, it was some embroidery thread and they were wrapped around the chains. I was like, that is such a cute idea. So, come back, use our real world experience, and here we go. So I just double knotted it right here at the end. I'm leaving that tail on for right now. And what I'm going to do is I am not going in this first one this time. Alright? I am going to go in the ones that are standing up for me. Alright? Like we have the ones that you can see through, and when they have the rings that you cannot see through at the time. So I'm going to go in from the point farthest away and pulling the needle towards me on that second ring. Alright. The little tail's getting in the way. And then for my next trick, I'm skipping that next one that you can see through. And you're going to be skipping every other link in here because you're going to be just going in the links that match. So we went in this one, now we're going to go in this one, and you're going to go in the links the same way each time. So you're going to go in from the farthest away and then bring it out closer to you. So it's going to make a little wavy pattern. And it doesn't have to be all perfect right now. You can always work on how tight and how loose you want it later on. And I'm always going every other one. So I went into this one, skipped this one, and then go in the other one. And as you do this, the new chain that you have already put the strand band in is going to curl a tiny bit. That is fine. That is normal. I'm just going every other link. Or if you want to look at it this way, it's all of the links that are facing the same direction. And I always start from the outside and bring it in closer to me. Sometimes they get a little locked up. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to go off camera and finish. Alright, I'm going to go off camera, and I'm just going to continue doing this all the way down the bracelet, and I will come back and show you how it looks. Alright, so I have gone down the entire length of the chain, and this is how it looks with a single color. And as you can see, it's kind of twisting, and that's fine. So I have one extra link here at the end. And I'm just going to run my strand band through it. And then I'm going to do just a double knot in it to tie it off, and so that it will stay nice and secure on the chain. Because we don't want anything to happen and make it come off of the chain. Alright, so now I'm going to cut it, and I'm not going to cut my ends off yet. I'm going to undo this one, and I'm going to grab my next color. So I'm going to be right back after I grab my next color. Alright, so I just went ahead and double knotted my next color, which is purple, onto the last ring. And what I'm going to do is, it's not going to matter on this first ring, but you can go ahead and go in it and wrap your first loop around it. Then remember, you skip that second, you go into the next, the third one, and then you go into the fourth, and you're just doing the same thing you just did, but you're doing these on the opposite rings that you did the orange with. So it makes it like they're kind of intertwined, but they're never ever going to intertwine. They're just right next to each other the entire time. So if you remember how I did all of the orange, you can go ahead and fast forward to where I add my end pieces and the little charm. So I'll be right back. So here is the bracelet. I just tied the ends off, and you see how nice it is and it twists. I love how that looks. Alright, so we are going to add our little charm in the middle. I made a little key. Maybe you have the key to my heart. Aww. And all I have it on is a little jump ring. I think I got the keys at Hobby Lobby and the jump rings at Hobby Lobby as well. Hobby Lobby is super convenient for Amanda and myself, only because it's right next to our gym. It's really dangerous for us. We go work out and then we go to Hobby Lobby. It really is super dangerous because we go spend all our money right after we work out. Alright, now for the ends, since this is such a dainty, cute little chain, I'm using a little lobster claw clasp, and these I did get at Joann's. So I am taking apart these into two pieces, and I'm taking another jump ring. You can really get jump rings anywhere: Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. Yes, Walmart has a craft section. I was surprised. Alright, and I'm just putting this on the very last ring. And making sure that they go together. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright. And now I'm going to make sure that those are nice and tight. I'm going to cut the excess off. And here is the first of our nice chains. Alright, our next one we're going to do is the second largest, which is the one with our nice flat chains and a pretty little braid in the middle. Alright, so for this chain, I have already pre-cut my chain, and I did allow for a few extra links in this chain because when you weave the braid, the strand band braid, it makes the chain where you have one flat and one that's slightly up. So it doesn't make that big of a difference, but I allowed for a couple extra links added in there, just so you'll know. And I have made on the strand band clipboard, I made just a very simple tri-colored, why can I not think of anything, tri-colored braid. I made a purple, a pastel blue, and black. And you need to make it longer than you actually think you're going to need it. This is about 1.5 lengths, and I'm still not 100% sure if this is long enough. So we will find out. If it's too long, you can always cut it down. I'd rather have to cut it down than it not be long enough. So we will find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking one of my ends and putting it through the end. It's a lot easier to do it that way than to have to worry about fiddling through an entire braid for the first in and out thing. So this one was going from the bottom up. This one we're going to go from the bottom down. So if you know how to weave, this will be pretty easy. And this one we're not using a needle. We're literally just weaving this back and forth on this chain. The one thing I will make sure is you want to make sure that this one back here, that the knot is right at the last chain. One way that I usually make sure that it's okay like this is, and we can do this now, is I already get a jump ring, and I put the jump ring through the braid, literally through the braid, not in the midst, not in the knot. I put it through the braid, and then I affix the jump ring to the first link, and that makes sure that it won't go anywhere. But you don't have to do this if you don't want to have the back of the bracelet together with the lobster claw. Then if you just want to close it with using the back of these strand bands with the nice tassel closures, you can totally do it that way as well. And so you wouldn't have to use a jump ring. It's totally up to you. Your imagination is your only boundary. Alright, so I'm going underneath for the next one. I'm always making sure that my chain is staying in the same way, like it's not going in different directions. That is one big thing. You don't want it to be going 2 different ways, because it's easier to correct now versus later on. You want to make sure that it's not all bunched up either, that there's a lot of slack. So I'm going down this time. All of our chaining techniques and everything, it really came about. I mean, we had a tutorial way back when we first started YouTube tutorials doing the chaining, but our great friend Nix Haley 22, oh my goodness, she took the ball with the chains and she ran with it. She has so many great looking bracelets with chains, and Artisan Loom has tutorials that she has done for Nix and how to use them, chaining on the sides of bracelets, chaining on the inside of bracelets, just so many different techniques. So I did want to give a shout out to them. Because they have some of the most beautiful bracelets out there. Alright, I am just literally going back and forth, weaving back and forth this entire time. I'm going to continue doing this off screen the rest of this, but as you can see, it's just nice and flat. I'm going to continue doing the rest of this and I will be right back. Alright, so I've finished off chaining this one. I'm just going to make sure everything is nice and flat because we have a little extra here at the end of strand band braid, which I'd rather have extra than not enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and I'm just going to make a knot. And I'm going to try and get it, making sure that my bracelet is pulled down. All the chains. But making sure we get this knot as close to the other knots as possible. Not other knots, other chain, other links. Because then, after I put the jump ring in it, we will cut it. But I don't like cutting it until after everything is in place, just because, just in case something was to snap loose. I lost my jump ring. We wouldn't have lost it all. We could fix it a little bit easier. So I'm just pulling that through, and if you don't watch it, your chain likes to go back down before you hook it. That's one thing. So now I'm just hooking it to the chain, the last chain link. Now that it's all there, make sure it's nice and secure. I will cut off this extra little bit. Alright. Now we need to add our owl from our dear friend AZMS Mom, our Deb. Love her. We really have some of the best looming friends ever. Alright, there's our sweet little owl, and now we have to add our little lobster clasp here at the end. And like I said, since it's such a small bracelet, I'm just going to take it in two parts. And I'm going to get my one jump ring. Why am I trying to put two on one? Silly Monica. Put it on that one side. Get our other jump ring. Put it on the other side. And there you have it, guys. Isn't that adorable? I especially love the owls, just saying. Alright, now we have our last one to move on to. Our big one. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so here is our third and final one. So on this one, this was the original one that we did in our tutorial for adding rainbow looms to a chain. And I just thought it would be cute to add a super contrasting strand band color to this one. And with this one, I added some of my own bling that was a little bit smaller. And I thought for the tutorial I would add some of the larger strand band bling that comes with the strand band stuff. So we will be adding these, and I made a little bit of a different sample today. So if you want to go and make our design, well, there is a tutorial on our channel, and you can go and make one just like this one, or either one of these. This is just in a different color pattern and a different type of chain, but it's the same exact concept. So I'm going to put that out of the way. And I'm not actually going to use a needle for this one, only because you can use either your rainbow loom hook. I think I'll just use my rainbow loom hook today. And you're just going to be pulling, I'm using a pink strand band, a neon pink strand band. And you're just going to be pulling the strand band through some bands. So it's not, you don't need the needle. I mean, you can use the needle if you need to. I'm not saying you don't have to. You can use it if you want to. I don't care. It's okay. Some people would rather have to use the needle. Alright, so the only thing I have done is on the end is I have, and this is just a sample, I didn't do an entire bracelet, is I have double knotted here at the end, and I have left, as you all know, the tail on just in case something happens. So what we are going to do is, in this first one, here's the very beginning of the bracelet. I'm going to take my rainbow loom hook, and that first little loop in here is where you're going to stick your rainbow loom hook, and you're going to grab the strand bands and you're going to pull it through. Alright, and then you're going to add, you don't have to add bling, and if you do this with more than one strand band, I definitely don't think you have to add bling, but you can add the bling like we're doing, because we're just using a single strand band. We wanted to show it the simplest way possible. So we have it like that. And then, I'm going to kind of move it to the side for a second. If you can see down in here, there's one right here. There's one extra little loop-de right here. We're not grabbing that. We're going to skip one. We do every other one. Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the strand band again from underneath and pull it to the top. Now I will say with the larger bling you won't be seeing the strand band as much, but if you use the smaller bling you can definitely see the strand bands more. But with these nice large ones that come with the strand bands, these are really pretty and really nice ones. They complement the bracelet beautifully. So I just skipped one and went into that next one with my rainbow loom hook, grabbed the strand band and pulled it through. And each time, I mean, that looks so pretty with those big ones. I need to try this with the big ones on a full one. I think this would look really pretty with one of the, with a nice tightly braided cobra, one of their tutorials that they have on, and we have a tutorial about the cobra as well. Just putting it out there that would look really pretty going through this. Oop, as I drop the bracelet. Remember, you're going every other one, and you wouldn't have to go every one with the beads. How about we do it with just, let's try every other one since this is a sample. I'm just going to do every other one. And see there, you see the strand band. I just put a bling on there. And with their bling, they have nice wide holes that the strand bands fit through. And we're going to do every other one. All right. So this one was showing you. These down here, I did every one. This one I skipped one. I was doing every other one. So I skipped one. This one's just the regular strand band. And I have one that I have the bling on. Regular strand band. And so I just ended it out. And then you'll go into whatever the last band loop is. You'll go through it. It doesn't matter if you did the one right before it. You need to do the last one before you end out the bracelet, because you need to pull it through the last link, and you will double knot it, and then you will cut it off. So you want to make sure it is double knotted. But I really like how these large ones look. But if I was doing this again, I think I might do a little braid also through here. I think that would look really cool as well, with a nice little braid. What do you think? Add the beads with the strand bands and then do a strand band braid. I don't know. So many possibilities for this product. We absolutely love it. So here are all of the different ones that we came up with. We love each and every one of them. Like I said, this was done with the smaller bling. You can do smaller bling. I wanted to use the strand band beads that they come with and see how they looked, and I absolutely love them personally. They do hide the strand bands more, but you can add another section of strand bands with something more intricate with them too. I like that. I mean, like I said, the ideas just flow when it comes to this product. So many things coming with this product. Love, love, love it. Incorporating with rainbow loom, incorporating with so many different products. We've seen them made into shoestrings. We have one more tutorial making a key fob that we've seen with on their Instagram as well. And we have our dream catcher as well. So look out for that tutorial coming soon. If you decide to make any of these, please tag and hashtag both strand bands and us. We would love to see your renditions. Use their hashtag strand bands and make fashion fun. They always love checking out new ideas that are going through. They are a new company. They want to see what everyone comes up with. They love all the creativity that's flowing. I mean, we've seen in the years that we've done rainbow loom how much has come out from one product, and they've just started. So let's show them the love that we show our rainbow loom. Love you all. Loom for a cause, and loving this new strand band product. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Mwah.